Let's go to MJ32. Will Najee Harris win Offensive Rookie of the Year? I mean, he's got to be up in the running for it, right? I mean, he's got 128 carries this year, 479 yards. I wish that he would be behind a better offensive line because there's been a handful of games where I've watched Najee. And heck, I'm a Raider fan, and I watch the Raiders games pretty closely. And the game that Najee had up against Las Vegas, I was like, man, you can really see the talent that this young man has. However, the offensive line's a disaster. The only reason why I'm going to go ahead and say no, he's not going to win it is simply because the year that Jamar Chase is having. But we could also be in a scenario where even though, oh my gosh, what's his name? The quarterback, Mac Jones. Yeah, holy hell, totally drew a blank. Even though Mac Jones isn't having the best statistical season, the Patriots are 5-4. He's a quarterback, and usually it ends up going to a quarterback, especially if they figure out a way to win that division, because Buffalo right now, I don't know what the hell they're doing. So speaking of the AFC, who is right now currently the best team in the AFC? Last week I said the Buffalo Bills. L ticket. That's what I ended up taking because they laid a stinker losing, 9-6 up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They couldn't move the football at all. So what I want you guys to do, let me know. Who's the best team in the AFC? Because right now this entire conference is wide open. Kind of a mind-blowing thing to think about. The Cincinnati Bengals 2 weeks ago were the number 1 seed if the playoffs were to start. They lost to the Jets, they lost to the Browns, and now if the playoffs were to start, they wouldn't even be in it. So this this conference, super competitive. What up, Jeff Reed? Which division gets more teams in the playoffs, AFC West or AFC North? Really good question. Oh, boy. So I really think that the Ravens end up making the playoffs. I don't see the Browns making it, and I don't see the Steelers making it, man, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's the AFC West. It would not shock me whatsoever if the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Chiefs all made it. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to end up being the AFC West.
From Little Ben, what quarterback could my Steelers take in this year's draft? Doesn't seem like a great class. It's not. It was supposed to be Spencer Rattler as quarterback 1 because he had the great arm, showed all these great flashes. Terrible this year. I mean, he went full Mahomes this year, which is not a good thing as it relates to Rattler. Now, the quarterbacks this year are still out there. There are some interesting options. These of course, the odds as it relates to the top quarterback. Matt Corral is supposed to be QB1 right now, but those odds were in favor of Spencer Rattler earlier. So, I like Corral. I like Willis' upside. Strong's got a great arm. He does kind of fit that more typical backup pass or strong arm pocket passer. Pickett's got a high ceiling, I think, or high floor, lower ceiling. Sorry, guys. And Sam Howell, I still like him, but he's Baker Mayfield light. So it's not a great class. I wonder if Pittsburgh could very much just end up passing on a quarterback altogether and instead choosing to go to a Mason Rudolph for a singular season. Now, who do you think is the best quarterback in the 2022 NFL Draft? No wrong answers. This will be, though, the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, head down to the comments and type your responses.
This next one's coming in from Barrett B49. What up, Barrett B? Who's the most underrated team right now? So this is actually a pretty good question here. In terms of what exactly is an underrated team, I'll say a team that nobody is really thinking about because they've lost a few games and they're 3-5. I'm going to throw out the team, the Seattle Seahawks, who they're about to get back Russell Wilson. You can make the argument that they're the worst team in that current division. But at 3-5, do not sleep on Seattle for making a late playoff push because if Russ is in the game, they're at least going to have an opportunity. If somebody wants to give me another team name, I might throw out the New England Patriots, who've been playing much better football. Also, the Atlanta Falcons. They're sneaky 4-4, and if they beat Dallas this week, oh yeah, get on the Atlanta hype train. Noah Dye, you're next up here on NFL Daily. What top quarterback 2022 prospect will or might go in the first round, or do you think it will be the second round? So again, quarterback prospects this year are very difficult in the draft. I would say the top 3 quarterbacks right now are probably Pickett from Pittsburgh, which blows my mind saying. Malik Willis has to be in that conversation, and then Matt Corral, obviously I've been eating that Golden Corral too much. But I would say all three of them have a shot, obviously, going in the first round. And the more and closer we get to the draft, you're going to see teams start hyping up quarterbacks. And as always, guys are going to go early. I will say this, though. The last time that I remember people talking about NFL draft classes being a weak group was, I believe, 2017. And a few quarterbacks that came out of that group were Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. And you can say what you want about Deshaun, but both of them have a lot of talent.
Now, if you want to get your questions featured on any of our mailbag shows, then you got to be subscribed. Otherwise, you miss out on all of our videos here at Chat Sports. And we do these mailbags live, so got to be watching live. That's a pretty simple result right there. So sub right now if you want to join us in the future for more live NFL mailbags. The Lunatic. If the NFL expands to 34 teams, which two cities are added? I don't know. Maybe they add an overseas team or non-USA team in some capacity. Maybe they bring back a St. Louis team. There's some legal issues there going on that I think are a bit of a problem from that perspective. So, maybe that's a route they end up trying to go in the end. From Riley Gamer, what's the best team in the NFL? The Cardinals have the best record, and they took it to the Cardinals with a backup quarterback in without DeAndre Hopkins too. I think the Cardinals are the best team right now. From Jillian, who do you think is the biggest contender in the NFC and the AFC? The buys mean a lot this year. NFC, I think there are 5 teams. Cardinals, Rams, Packers, Bucks, Cowboys. Pick one. You're probably right. AFC, Titans. Without Derrick Henry, you feel less about, but they just beat the Rams. Maybe it's the Titans. Chargers have not been consistent. The Bills, I think I'm going to go with Bills, but they lost to the Jags. The AFC, a bit inconsistent and a bit more wide open.
Now, if anybody out there wants to bet on any NFL game this week, you can do it at one place and one place only. That's with BetUS, the #1 sports book on the internet. And luckily, I'm going to pat ourselves on the back here. We got the #1 deal on the internet. Huh? Mitch, #1 deal. How do I get it? Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code NFL Daily. That's going to get you 125% deposit bonus. Now, if you put down $100, you're going to get $125 for free. And for first-time BetUS users, we're also going to throw in a free NFL jersey. Yes, a free NFL jersey. So all you got to do, use the link, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code NFL Daily. We'll cycle through some jerseys that we have on stock here. And then what I want you to do is send me your account number. Send me a bet that you made, because if I'm being honest, y'all, I've been struggling in the whole betting game for the last week or two, so I need to see what you guys got. Email me that jersey at chatsports.com. Then we'll figure out, your address, your size, all that little logistics there. But you got to get started with BetUS. It's for first-time users only. I always tell people, imagine a world where you could put down $100, you get $125 for free to bet with, and then on top of that, we're going to get you a Nike NFL jersey. So you're getting a hell of a deal here. Thanks to Chat Sports. So remember that. Again, email us, jersey at chatsports.com. Get a free NFL jersey, but you got to get started with BetUS. Now, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and if I'm being 100% legit with y'all, I'm not the biggest fan of Thanksgiving food, so I want to put this one out here. What's the better Thanksgiving side? Is it mashed potatoes or is it stuffing? Please type M for mashed potatoes, or you can go ahead and type S for stuffing. If you're the kind of person that's like, you know what, man, I just like to mix everything, you can go ahead and type SM down in the comments. If I had to pick between both, I would say I would rather have good stuffing over good mashed potatoes, because I think mashed potatoes are a little bit simple personally, but both of them I usually end up passing on if I'm being 100% honest. Looking at a lot of the comments, I'm seeing a lot of S's. I do know this. Tom's favorite thing to eat on Thanksgiving is mashed potatoes, which maybe that tells you a little bit more about Tom.
From Cody the GOAT, what position is the weakest in the 2022 NFL Draft? I think quarterback, from what we've had in recent years, really stands out as a not great position grouping to deal with. Top of running back is not great. I think some of the bottom, the depth is solid. I don't love the tight end class either, because my boy Jaleel Billingsley was a head case for Alabama this year, which kind of sucks. I like the defensive ends. DT's a bit thin near the top, but quarterback stands out the most to me.